Vikings bringing in wide receiver Trey Palmer for a top 30 visit. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar. Just over a month before the NFL draft starts, the Vikings have started bringing in their top 30 visits, bringing in some players that they want to get to know just a little bit more. Trey Palmer, wide receiver, Nebraska, is one of those players. So we're going to get to know him right now. Before we do that, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the videos here every damn day. Want to support the show, hit that sub button. Let's get to 10,000 subs. Let me know in the comments what you think of Trey Palmer, and do you want to see him in purple? So let's get to know him just real high level first. Palmer, wide receiver from Nebraska, 6'1", 190, good size, blazing speed, 4.33, the fastest receiver at the combine. Current projection, probably like round 3 or 4. A lot of the sites you see, he's usually in round 3, top of round 4. I have seen him in round 2. Crazier things have happened. Just looking at his pros quick, vertical threat, big play, speed, special teams contributor, and his big thing is his upside. A lot of thing with Trey Palmer is what he could be, because he's got the athletic ability, just a little bit rough around the edges. So cons, you can see that relies on athleticism too much. Route running is not overly fantastic, and he's got some inconsistent hands, which is not great when you are a wide receiver. But 3 years at LSU, was a 5-star recruit coming to LSU, got a little buried on that depth chart, rightfully so. It's a little bit tough to break through that wide receiver group at LSU. Ended up transferring to Nebraska. As you can see, 71 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. So a wonderful business move by Mr. Palmer to transfer to Nebraska, become their number 1 wide receiver instantly, and absolutely tear it up. And that's what he did. He tore it up. He even set the school record for receiving yards in a game with 237 against Purdue. So Palmer, I mean, the fact that the Vikings are looking at him, bringing him in, I mean, they got a lot of players they're going to bring in. By no means does this mean that all of a sudden he's number 1 on the radar, but clearly there's some interest at the wide receiver position. I don't expect this to be the last wide receiver they bring in, but Palmer, admittedly so, I didn't know a ton about him. So getting to know him a little bit more, like I said, he's athletic, fast as hell. He has the tools. He's kind of that player where it's what if? And we see a handful of these receivers come out every damn year, and that's nothing against Palmer. It's just we see these athletic guys come out that are raw, that need a lot of refining. And he's fast, he's athletic, he's just rough around the edges. And it all really comes down to a matter if they reach their upside at the next level. Most of them, I mean, I would say most of them don't oppose the ones that do, especially when you're looking at those fourth round guys. A lot of it comes down to coaching. And the good news is, we got one hell of a wide receiver coach. We got Keenan McCardle. So I would love Trey Palmer in round 4. Maybe he slides around 5 would be even better, but I don't think there's any way in hell that happens. But have McCardle, get his hands on him. It's interesting because I saw a comparison even before I saw it. I was thinking, God, this guy sounds a lot like Jalen Nailor. And sure enough, I don't remember which site it was, actually compared him to Jalen Nailor. And I don't think he's really a boom or bust type of guy. I think he's more of a boom or just depth type of guy because he has the athletic ability. He is a guy that can come out and just take the top off the defense. He can be a guy that rounds out your depth chart as a receiver, and you can still send him deep a couple times every week. And, worst case, he's a good return man, and he adds depth and could be that home run type hitter. With the Vikings, I like the idea of bringing in a receiver, especially a mid-round guy, unless one of those round 1 guys fall, like a Johnson or somebody like that in round 1. But Trey Palmer, I like it. I don't think he's a guy that's going to come in maybe even year 1 and do put much of a dent in the offense. But year 2, year 3, Keenan McCardle gets his hands on him. Next thing you know, wham, bam, Trey Palmer is one of the best receivers in the NFC North, baby. So Trey Palmer, Vikings are interested. Let me know in the comments if you want him.